Huh. A preacher today told me I would make a good preacher if I just studied the word more. Little does he know, I am in the word. I have thought about starting me a church, but I don't need a building. I want a parking lot, chairs. You come in if you want to. You stand across the street and listen if you want to. But we're not going to be like any other church. I wouldn't even call it a church. I would call it a gathering. Because you could be anywhere to hold church. 2 or more people. 2 or more. But everything you read in that book, some of it has been injected, conjections, misinterpreted, mistranslated, and all these other things. The alliterations and a whole lot of other things are not as it seems. And you really need to be aware of that and have the discernment to say, hey, that's not right, or hey, that's literal. I can really take this and apply it to my life in the present tense, past tense, and more than likely, the future tense. Lucifer is very real. He is hard at work currently with this COVID-19 business, deceiving people so you can consent to give away your freedoms. You have to consent. They need you to consent. Think about your life. Any contract, well, let me put it this way. Anything you have ever put your name on is a contract. And if you signed it, you consented. They need your consent. Do not give the dark side your consent. Lucifer is alive. Lucifer is real. Also, is Yahweh is real. And he's alive. And he dwells within you. You just need to find that and have the discernment to trust your gut and know what is right and what is wrong. It might be the hardest decision you have to make, but it might be the right decision. You're going to have to make those tough choices and roll with those punches. Don't give in by any means. And as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself as well. Because trying to wake people up and get them out of this sleeping phase, it's hard business. It's really freaking hard. Especially when they're family members and people that are close to you. You're trying to make them see it. For the life of them and yourself, they can't figure it out. They can't wrap their head around. There are evil people in this world that are causing calamities. You might think they're coincidences. There's nothing new under the sun, which means there's no coincidences. Things are happening because they are making it happen. They are fabricating these things so you can't consent. Like the school shootings, blaming AR-15s instead of you should be blaming the system that failed, that allowed this person to purchase a weapon legally. But you want to blame a piece of machinery for the person's actions that he did with that piece of machinery. You can't blame the equipment. is the end user. And better yet, how did the end user achieve his goal? Because the system failed. The system that was put in place for him not to be able to purchase a weapon allowed him to, allegedly. Maybe he was given the weapon by CIA or somebody. Because, I don't know, man. It's getting crazy, dude. It's getting out of line. Give me a second, peeps. It's getting out of line. And I don't know what to do. Besides do what I've been doing. Warning people. Really thinking about starting making some t-shirts. Pressing out some t-shirts. Just giving you raw truth. So hopefully you'll get it. I started putting signs on the back of my car. The back of my automobile. Hopefully when I travel, people will wake up and research the things that I'm putting on there so they can see for themselves and believe themselves. Hey, he's right. Trying to lead you to freedom. And I don't want to fucking charge you for it. I wouldn't be any better than a fucking slave owner. Charging you for your freedom. What kind of shit is that? Your freedom is not mine to harbor. As for the Creator, your vessel belongs to the Creator, not you, not to anyone else. And the Bible. Churchgoers. A lot of churchgoers, millions of churchgoers, but yet they are going along with Lucifer's plan. You preach it, you're in the Bible at least once a week, but you don't heed the signs. You don't see what's happening to you that's in this book is happening in real life. How could you not? Where is the discernment? Where is the knowledge that you have obtained by being inside of this book? Because I am not in that book nearly as much as believers are, which I am a believer, but I don't believe everything that these believers believe. They believe in this blue-eyed Jesus Christ guy. No, that's not what it is. Because if Jesus Christ was in that skin tone, he wouldn't have survived in Egypt. Come on, man. He wouldn't have survived trying to hide out so he wouldn't be murdered. So he had to be my skin tone, my complexion, melanated skin in his blood. Just like when they said the Creator, the great I Am, had feet that looked like it was burnt. It was in a furnace. Burnt. Dark. Wake up, people. You should already know by now that you are a goddamn Israelite. Might not be from the tribe of Judah, but you are from one of those tribes. Wake up. You think that they tried to persecute us? So-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Haitians, Jamaicans. You really think they've been trying to persecute us for nothing? Treat us like we're the enemy for nothing? Because they know that we are above them. That's why they have to fuck with your psyche and demean you and fucking put you down so you start believing that shit. You are a fucking king or queen. Better wake up to the reality of who you are before you meet your demise. Wake up, people. Especially people with melanated skin. You have no idea who you truly are. You're not an animal. You're not well, every human being is somewhat of an animal. But if you look up Black's Law Dictionary, the way that the government sees you, look up human being in Black's Law Dictionary. We are considered monsters. But in reality, like I said in my first video, anything dealing with government is a 180. They are the monsters. They're the one killing innocent people, women and children, just to further their agenda. That's sick and sadistic and twisted. That's monstrous. Most people on this planet just want to live their lives and be left alone. They're not out here committing crimes. It's only a handful of billions of people. Don't believe the media. You say you can't believe everything you get on YouTube, but I have found more useful things on YouTube than on mainstream media. I have been to my local hospitals. Don't believe the hype. Houston, Texas. Don't believe the hype. There's not people at the hospital like they're talking about on TV. So I'm only inclined to believe other stories that I see people going around to their local hospitals and there's crickets. It only fits the bill. All those triages they got, that's not for us, people. Wake up. That's for their infantry. That's for people that's trying to get their people better. That's doing their bidding. We got body bags and coffins waiting for us. So I suggest you fight and give your vessel to this cause, because your vessel is not yours to begin with. It's for Yahweh. And if you're doing it for Yahweh's people, it's a worthy cause. Yes, you might lose your life. You might lose this vessel, but your soul lives on. I have already confirmed this, having a quarrel with a Luciferian on this YouTube here. I already knew it, but he just confirmed it. Oh, one dies. You're made of energy. Energy. Atom is man, but also Atom, A-D-A-M, means one who mines for gold. Because that's how it started. We were mining for gold because the Creator was trying to save his atmosphere, and they needed gold because gold has a lot of properties in it. A lot of protective properties as well from harmful rays. So that's why it seemed like they ended up in Egypt. Well, that's why they ended up in Egypt. Is everything seems like it started in Egypt because Egypt had a big gold deposit. It still does. It's the second largest in the world today, presently. So back then, there was a shit ton of gold. So they ended up in Egypt. They had to land somewhere because they're trying to find the gold. So they didn't want to do the work themselves. So they made us to do the work. And then he was thinking, this is the Bible. Still keep it in the Bible. Just have the discernment and peep game. They needed the gold. They didn't want to do it themselves. So they made us. They made Adam. He's a man, one who mines for gold. Check out the definitions. Look it up. Do your own research. Be approved. So he was thinking, I don't want them just to be mindless robots. So let me give them decision making and all of those implications and things that come along with that. And that's what happened. But you're still mining for gold. Once that gold was accomplished, they left this land. We inherited the land. You peeping game? They left. They started all this. They're like, okay, we got to go. We're going back here to accomplish what we need to accomplish to save our environment. You inherit the land. Because you're the only one that could really make reason and speak. Because he gave that to you. And then came along a group of people were like, hey, let's revert that. Let's make all these people work for us. Their leader not here right now. Yes, they have free reign over the land, but we can manipulate that. We can control that. And that's what's been going on. Lucifer. The reptilians. You think Lucifer is depicted as a dragon in the Chinese by accident? Or by a snake, a reptile by accident? No. He is the older brother, but he's a half-blood. Yahweh is full-blooded. So Yahweh inherit the kingdom. Hence, that's why the older brother rebelled. Because he was pissed off that he did not get the kingdom. But he knows he's half-blood. You know the rules. Full blood over half-blood still to this day. Come on, man. Truth is always in your face. You have to have the discernment to realize what's going on, what's being said, what is being told, and most importantly, what is not being said. It's wordplay, it's trickery. On the damn stop sign, that's in all capital letters. That doesn't even say stop, because it's not English. It's not proper English. It's AOL, ASL, American Sign Language. They're playing with your psyche. But you don't know any better, so therefore you're going along with the program, thinking that everything is normal. It's not. Anything in capital letters is a corporation. It's a dead entity. It means nothing unless you give it validity and give it that be surety for it to make it commercial energy. Providing commercial energy for that dead entity. That's the only way the government can ever intertwine with your life. Unless you consent to allow them to. It's simple but yet complex because it's intertwined since day one in your life. You think it's normal, but it's not. You're not living your true life. You call yourself a Christian, you are a quasi-Christian because you're not living like the Creator intended you to live, beholding to no man or no thing. You have a driver's license. You have a social. You have a birth certificate. Those are government documents. You are beholding to someone else. You got to break those ties if you really, truly want to be free. Life is going to be harder, yes, because you're going to have to learn how to maneuver through the whole, I need a license for this and things of that nature. But people are doing it. It's doable. Stop being a puppet. Stop being a slave. You like getting fucked in the ass with no grease? Well, keep doing what you're doing. But if you want to be free, keep all of your earnings instead of having to be taxed or paying child support, which is even not even in positive law. They're stealing your money. And I am in the process of getting my monies back. They have 4 business days, including today. They have 4 business days to respond to me before I hit them with a default judgment. And I will be posting that video with the goddamn check to show you that we're not BSing. You need to take your sovereignty back. You need to take your life back. Give that goddamn inflatable canoe back. And tell them to fucking pull your fucking battleship up so you can disembark. Well, embark, I guess you could say. Embark. Or disembark. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Terminology for leaving and selling off. Fuck. Stop with the bullshit, man. Wake the fuck up. Educate yourself. You can hit me up at monkeybusiness2010@gmail.com. Instead of 2 S's at the end of business, it's 2 Z's. Monkeybusiness with 2 Z's 2010@gmail.com. You need some knowledge, need some guidance, hit me up. I ain't charging you for a goddamn thing. Yes, I paid other people for some of this information that I have obtained, but I'm not going to charge you for it. I'm not going to charge you for your freedom. I paid for it so that I could obtain the information so I could disseminate it freely your fucking charge. I'm not going to charge you for your freedom. I'm out. Going to sleep.